Personally, I deal in scholars' objects, 文房. Basically like really expensive stationery, if you really want to think about it that way. Since the Cultural Revolution, we lost that facet of history and tradition. A good way for one to really think about it that has kept its tradition is the Japanese tea ceremony, which like the whole tea culture, it originated in China in the first place, and it trickled over to Japan and it continued since. You're always in a small setting. You're on the tatami mat, like a very, very small amount of people, maybe 3, maybe 4. Every single thing that they place on their table has a purpose. On the side, there's a little space called a tokonoma, which they have the paintings, they have the vase, the flowers. It all corresponds to the season. It also corresponds to the taste of the individual, as well as how they want to cater to the guest. You know, you can have a story about every single object in front of you and around you. And it's not just a place just to have tea, it's a place to have dialogue. Tea is not the important thing. We have the hunger to really spread the word, spread the knowledge, so that people can get interested in such things. This is one area of art and history that really needs to be acknowledged.
Well, I think young collectors, or any collector who starts collecting, the purest form of collecting is when you fall in love with something. You fall so much in love with something, you want to possess it, you want to own it, you want to buy it. And so I think that's obviously the first step. And then if you're young and if you're inexperienced, what you want to do, you do research. Which is the best gallery for this type of material? Which are the auctions that deal in this material? What are the prices that these pieces achieve? And you know, who can I trust, who can I not trust? And then you go to museums, and you go to institutions, and you go to exhibition. So this is what I encourage young collectors to do. And of course, some people develop a real passion and they continue collecting throughout their life. I think it's definitely a very important we want to do is to organize some talk and organize guided tours to the galleries. We even had a dinner at a certain point where we invited collectors to meet up and to sort of share knowledge and share information, and we had a presentation from all the members of the galleries. So I think, generally speaking, it's important that we educate collectors, especially new collectors, and we make them feel confident that they are talking with people who have knowledge and expertise. People ask, what is a tanka? And so it's not such a mysterious word. Actually, tanka means just roll painting, a painting that can be rolled.
Like certain characteristics you look for stones. It has to, like certain rocks, they used to have lists. Like during the Ming Dynasty, especially around the 17th century, they used to have these lists as to certain characteristics that they find themselves ideal for rocks. Like that's so, ho, thick, like low, can you see through it? And toe, does it have any holes? It's very interesting. I do have a lot of rocks here, and certain characteristics do come in my head. It's like, oh, like 够不够美，够不够丑? It needs to be like a certain amount of beauty in it, or a certain amount of ugliness in it.